Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I will be mainly talking about the basic concept of what would you be thinking throughout a boss fight in Honkai Star Rail. This concept will apply both in the early game, mid game, and late game, with a little bit exception of the Forgotten Hall, Memory of Chaos, where you will have a timer to beat in order to restart it. But this general concept should help you clear through all the contents that do not have any timer on it. For example, the main quest boss, or even simulated universe. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, talking about first is going to be team composition. So when you're dealing with a boss, then you should know that what the boss weakness is. So for example, this one, I'm using this as an example. This is going to be weak against physical, wind, and IMG type, imaginary type. And then for the rest are just minions here that we don't really worry too much about it. We mainly worry about the main boss here. So as for free to play, we only have 8 starter units, which is the main character, Natasha, March 7, Several, Danheng, Asta, Herta, and last one is Qin Xue, which I haven't unlocked it yet. So you will have these 8 free units to pick on and try to make a team composition for your own, a team of 4. So the main thing when you are only using one team only, so that means that's not later on for Forgotten Hall, which you will need 2 teams. But when you only need one team only, the best team count for free to play will always be slotting between Natasha and March 7 together. These two, Natasha is the healer, March 7 is the shielder, so these two can greatly increase your survivability in a boss fight for your entire team. And that's why by having these 2 units in, and you're just gonna slot the other 2 units based on pretty much the enemy weakness, the boss weakness, to break their weakness shield, as well as doing damage little by little. Eventually you are going to drag the fight long enough and you're going to beat down the boss with your team surviving, thanks to Natasha and March 7. So that's the general idea of team composition early game. And if once you unlock Fire MC later on, Fire MC, he is a very strong, like very broken strong tank and a support. And he can do sub damage, sub DPS as well if you are building him giving him some of the break effect stats. But that's not what we're going to go with in this video yet. So in the beginning, right now, my idea is, okay, he is weak against physical and wind. So I'm gonna slot in my physical MC and Danheng, obviously. So this would be my team composition when fighting against this boss. That's the basic idea. Now, positioning. Positioning actually matters in this game if you are using March 7, because March 7 should only provide you a single target shield from her skill here. Alright. Yeah, it's only a single target shield every single turn, and this single target shield can also increase the chance of enemy attacking that ally with the shield, meaning it will draw the aggro on it. So this is very beneficial if you learn how to position yourself using your team composition. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put everyone back up. So you want to always put whoever you want to be targeted as aggro on the most left or the most right of your team. So in this case, I would want March to be hitting the most, actually, because she is also our tank. Her main stats is building up around defense. You can see my defense of other characters is very low compared to March. She is my main tank, also a support as well. So I want her to be getting hit at the most time. So that's why I'm putting March 7 on the most left. This is because if the enemy have a blast attack skills, like blast attack skill, for example, would be this type, where you would do damage to the selected target as well as the enemies on the adjacent target as well. So that will be end up of 3 enemies from one skill. as AoE damage. Now, if the enemy selected my March 7 as the attack target, and my March 7 is at the edge of my team composition here, which is the most left or the most right, then there will be no one on my left side here. And there's only one person on my right side. So that means the blast skill is only actually going to do damage to 2 of my units instead of 3. If I put my March 7 in the middle, then she will be selected as an attack target, and then both my Servo and Yang Qin is going to take damage. So that's why you want to put whoever you want to take the hit on the most left or the most right at the edge of the team comp. Next, who should be placing right next to March? Well, that is a second unit that you can take the most hit without any shield or heal. That is going to be my Natasha, because she is built around HP and she's a healer, so she has much more HP compared to, well, actually I haven't upgraded my Natasha weapon yet, that's why her HP is kind of low compared to March. So but compared to like Dan Heng, for example, 500 HP and she has 756 HP. So she will have much more HP compared to anyone else, usually, once you are properly build her, because she's a healer herself and her heal is based on HP, max HP. So that's why I'm putting Natasha as second, so that she can absorb some hits from the enemy's fast attacks damage, while without being protected by a shield. And she will not die from that. So she can heal herself and march back up if necessary. Okay, so now the other 2 slot is very flexible, but I personally prefer to be whoever that I do not want to get hit the most, to be placing on the farthest side of the right compared to my March 7. And that would be my whoever is my weakest character, which is my Dan Heng. So that's why I'm gonna put my MC, my physical MC, as the 3rd and Dan Heng as 4th, because he has, once again, he has the lowest HP and he's the easiest one to die. So this is the idea of me when I'm going to which position I'm gonna swap around for my team composition while considering fighting the boss while I'm using free-to-play units. Okay, so now let us begin the fight. Now, I know I'm testing this in the Forgotten Hall, which we have a cycle limit, a timer that we need to beat in order to get 3-star. But let's assume that this is just a regular boss fight in the overworld for a main quest, or like any other game mode that does not have a timer on it, because this is the very simple basic team composition guide video. So let's ignore everything in the left side, and when you before you begin fighting the boss here, you can always click on the boss name, or if you're on the PC, you can press the Z button to check the wave, each wave of which enemy is gonna show on each wave. The main thing you want to focus on is the first wave only, because the first wave, your technique will matter on the first wave only, but not the second wave. So first wave, we have 3 enemies, and these 3 are all minions. You want to find what is one element that is common to their weakness on each individual enemies. So you can see all 3 have a different element of weakness, but the first enemy and the third enemy both have physical weakness, while all other elements are only weak against one enemy. But physical has 2. So that's why physical start would be the best start here when you're considering how to start up a fight. Okay, so we're going to start off with physical, which means we're going to either start off Natasha or physical MC. Now, checking on your technique. Unfortunately, I can't show it here, but I can't open up my character screen right now, but March 7 technique is a beginning fight where you will freeze an enemy randomly. That's not going to be helpful in this fight because they are not weak against ice. Natasha's technique, she will also begin the fight with extra hit, and then it will reduce the enemy damage for 1 turn. And that's kind of physical, so that's good for starting the fight. So we probably should be consider starting with Natasha's technique at the end. Okay, she will be using her technique at the very last order. Now, moving on to the physical MC. Physical MC, his technique is basically just give your entire team a 15% HP heal right at the moment here when you use it, and you can use it multiple times. So you can just treat that as an emergency heal when you need it before the next fight. And right now we are off HP, so we don't need to use it. And lastly, Dan Heng, his technique is able to enhance himself, giving an attack boost for the next fight and for the first 3 turns. And this one you cannot stack, so you can only pop once per fight. And that's why we should use that. Always use Dan Heng technique. I mean, not always. There's no always. I think most of the time you want to use Dan Heng technique first before you enter in the battle, and so he will get an attack boost, especially in a hard and a difficult battle. And then lastly, right now we are going to begin the fight with Natasha's skill, right? So that she can do something with the technique and also break them as many enemy weakness as possible, right? Right here, and you're already doing damage to them by breaking their shield. Okay. So now wave 1, when the boss before is come, you basically want to stack up your skill point as much as possible to face the second wave when the actual boss is gonna come out without taking as many damage as possible, and also save your ultimates. So that's the main goal here. So how I'm gonna do it is, first I can be breaking these guys of complete weakness by using my skill here, and also slow him down if possible. Okay, so that will give my team more breathing room to do my stuff later on. Now, my Natasha is being targeted by a big attack next, but I want to actually don't really matter about Natasha being attacked because she can always heal herself back. I want to actually start March 7 to shield herself back up here, so that I don't have to, when the boss come out, if the boss is going to move before me and do a big attack move, my March 7 is already having a shield on her own, so she can start taking aggro on the enemy and start protecting my other teammates as well. So now back to my MC here. Now you have a decision. Do you want to start stocking up your skill point by doing just a basic attack, or you want to use his skill to try to do AoE damage and try to kill the enemy as fast as possible without taking damage? This is a very important choice for you to make, and there's no 100% guarantee answer. It really depends on the situation, whether if the enemy is going to hit hard or not. So right now in this floor, the enemy is not going to hit as hard as the very end game content, so that's why it will give me more breathing room to take so more damage, and also because I have Natasha as the healer, I can always heal back up. So I would be deciding to just do a basic attack here. Actually, never mind. Taking about a look of the left side order turns, my Natasha is coming up right next, and she is able to do basic attack on the most right minion, and that will kill this minion by herself. So that's why for now, I think the best choice is actually for me to use my skill to do blast damage on the left 3 enemies. Okay, and then Natasha do basic attack on the right enemy to kill this enemy. Okay, now I can start stocking up my skill point by using my basic attack. Okay, which one do I attack first? Well, out of these 3, the middle enemy is about to come up next. So I want to focus down the mid enemy first before he can make the next move, to minimize the damage I receive. Okay, so now my March 7 already have a shield on, which will start provoking the enemy. Next, you have 2 options. Do you want to use March 7's shield again on Natasha? Because Natasha right now, she's not being protected under a shield, and any blast damage I take as March 7 will be also affected on Natasha, and Natasha might be taking too much damage, and she might. So by putting up a shield on Natasha, we will guarantee that 2 of my most left units have a shield on, and that way we can protect these two units much better, even though my March 7 getting hit as a blast attack, and Natasha can still absorb damage under the shield first. But this also brings up another issue, because if you put a shield on Natasha here, she will also have the provoking when she's above 30% HP, meaning they will share about the same aggro stats on the enemy. So it will have an almost equal chance between each other to get being selected as an attack target. In that case, if my Natasha is the one being selected as the blast attack move, my physical MC is going to take additional damage, right? And he's not too squishy, but he's a little bit more squishy than my Natasha. So this is a decision you need to make on the spot. Do you want to risk the chance to start damaging your third unit by shielding up your second unit? Or do you just want to rely on a single unit shield on the most left unit and then rely on your hero to heal back up everyone else? That is the decision you need to make on your own. And again, there is no 100% definite answer. It's really depend on situation by situation. So in this case, I am actually not going to use my shield just yet, because my Natasha, her ultimate is up, ready to use at any time. She can do an AoE heal at any time, so I don't really need the extra shield. So what I'm going to do is just simply do a basic attack on the weakest enemy, ensure the kill, and save everyone ultimate as possible. And now again, I'm going to do basic attack here, save up some skill point, and basic attack here, and boom, there it goes. Second wave. Now second wave, I'm very healthy here. I'm very ready. I have 5 skill points ready. I have 3 out of the 4 unit ultimate ready, and I'm moving first, so this is great. Now when fighting a boss fight, the first most important thing is you actually don't want to aim straight to the boss. You want to aim at the minion first. You want to kill off the minion first, so that they will not do as much damage to your entire team, because they actually hurt as well. So in this case, for my Danheng, I have 2 choices. I can use my ultimate first, or I can use my skill first. Okay, how would I do that? Well, if in this case, I will actually want to use my ultimate first to ensure 1 kill, because after you use ultimate and then you use your skill or basic attack, you are gonna get more energy back from, and you start charging up your gauge again for the next ultimate. So by using ultimate first to clear up your energy, the next move, you are going to stack up more energy for your next move, and as you can see, it's already more than half is back up. Yeah. Now, next. Again, for my March, I have my ultimate ready, so that means I'm going to use my ultimate first, and then going to use my skill next. Okay. Now, do I want to shield, or do I want to basic attack? Well, enemies are going to come up all 4 attacks at the same turn. Now this is pretty dangerous if I am being the only one absorbing all the damage, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shoot up Natasha in this situation, so that we can actually split the damage between us two, and not getting focused down as one, and they get one-shotted, perhaps. Okay. Now I'm actually going to slow down. You can also slow down your animations in case if you actually need to pop your emergency ultimate skill at any point. If you see like a multiple attacks coming. Okay, good thing I don't need to. Alright, so let's speed that up. Okay, so for MC again. All enemies here are weak against physical. So that means my MC is going to be the one I want to spam the skill every single turn if possible. So he will become the skill consumer, SP consumer in this situation. So that I can do the most damage out to all 3 of them, as well as for his ultimate also is blast damage. So I can do all damage to all units as well. Pop my ultimate right off the bat. Again, AoE. So this should kill the minions on the side as well right now. Okay, now back to my Natasha. Natasha is a special case where you normally, even though her ultimate is ready to use, you normally do not want to pop it right off the bat because you can serve this as an emergency heal at any moment, even during enemy's turn. Okay, so that's why for now I'll just do my basic attack, or I can just simply use my skill to heal myself up. But consider I'm only at 2 skill point right now, which is fairly low. I want to use a basic attack to help my team generate more SP first. Okay, back to my Danheng. Danheng, it can also be a skill spammer in this situation where the enemy is weak against wind, and right now only one boss left, so he's a single target DPS. So that's why his skill is going to be the best situation to deal with only one target. Okay, back to my March. Now you see my March has a mark on, so that means she will be targeted for his next big single target attack on March. So that's why I really want to put up a shield on whoever my units have a mark on in this case. Even if the mark is not on March, it's on someone else, like for example my physical MC, I want to put a shield on physical MC. Because the shield aggro is not going to overtake this mark. The mark guy, he will almost always guarantee to attack whoever get marked on, unless you can taunt the enemy, which is a debuff that only the fire MC can do. Right now we don't have taunt, and this greatly increases the chance it's not going to help. So I'm going to put a shield on whoever gets marked on, so that they can absorb the damage from this big attack coming next. Now I see that I am not able to break his weakness shield here. That means I am not able to delay him even further from the big attack. So what I can only do is just doing either a basic attack or a splash skill. But there's no enemy on the adjacent side, so basic attack in this situation could be better. Okay, could be better because I can help my team to generate more skill points. And my physical MC is not the one. It's not my main damage here. My main damage is actually Danheng for a single target. So I'm going to do a basic attack, but look at this. I have my ultimate ready as March 7. So what if I can freeze the enemy first before I can make my move next? Okay? This is also important because if I am able to freeze him here, then I can pretty much delay his move and even able to skip his next turn. Okay, I delayed it because this is an ultimate move that he will be doing no matter what. But normally, if you freeze an enemy and he's not doing some like an ultimate move, just a normal move, then you can actually make him not able to perform that move for this turn, and he's actually will be delayed by half, 57. So be delayed by half, and then he will perform his attack move later on. So it will buy you more time and increase your survivability. Alright, so now I have two choices. I can either do my basic attack, and then my Danheng is going to break his wicked shield next turn. Right? This is great and all. However, consider how I build my team around. I have my physical MC to be built upon break effect stats, and all my other units do not have break effect stats. Oh well, Natasha have break effect too. So my physical MC and Natasha both have some break effects. My March 7 also have break effect, but she's being an ice element. Ice element is the one element that you do not want break at all. That's why, for now, instead of going all in attack and break with Danheng, I'm actually thinking if it's possible to break with my physical MC instead. So looking at the left order here, what I can do is I'm gonna heal myself up by using my skill, so I do not attack him. Now if you use your Danheng skill, you will be breaking it immediately here. So I'm gonna use my basic attack actually, just so that I'm not breaking it immediately right now. take. So now when it comes to my physical MC turn, he can be the one break enemy, and I can do more damage by breaking the enemy shield using my physical MC. Watch. 1,300 damage right there. That is the power of break effects that's early on and brings you a lot of cheap damage without actually having to invest a lot of attack, crit, and damage, all that sort of stuff. All you need here is just break effect. Okay, so now he's break, and my team takes some damage here. Actually, to be exact, only my physical MC. So what I can do is I can either use my skill to heal my physical MC and save my ultimate as an emergency AoE heal later on, or for my Danhan, I can prepare to use my Danhan ultimate by popping his passive to give him wind penetration. How is that gonna work? I can either pop it with my March skill to target Danhan as a shield ally, or I can use my AoE ultimate from Natasha and target everyone as the AoE heal, so that Danhan can get the passive pop as well. So what I would usually do is, I'm just gonna do my basic attack here, that's more basic skill point. I'm going to first try to apply slow. Yes, because this skill can apply slow. But my crit rate is so low. When you are properly built, and you have a decent amount of crit rate, you want to first use your skill first, apply it slow, and then use your Natasha ultimate or your March 7 skill to pop your Danhan passive, and then lastly pop your Danhan ultimate to do one big damage. That's the basic combo that I usually do. However, by doing this combo, you are but you are losing extra energy generating from a skill, which is 30 energy. So it's a give and take. Do you want more energy ready for your next ultimate, or you want to do more damage from this one single ult this turn, right now? So in my situation, consider I am not having a great crit rate, only a 5% crit rate, and my skill only applies slow when I crit. So I am probably most likely not going to apply the slow here. In my situation, I'm going to use my Natasha ultimate right now because I can't wait for I cannot wait until my March 7 turn. I will lose energy. So I will do my ultimate here with my Danhan penetration passive on. And then I can do my skill again to generate more energy and also do some big damage as well. Yeah. So earlier, if your Danhan was a pretty well built Danhan and you have quite a lot of crit rate right there, and you can actually consider do your skill first, apply it slow, and then do change into your Natasha ultimate, and then do your ultimate as well. So that will do extra damage multiplied at the end for one even bigger damage. Now the boss is gonna come back up next move, and I'm checking. I'm always want to check, is my team healthily shield right now? So you can see here, the shield still lasts on 3 turns on my March, but shield HP is only 8 HP. Her shield is literally about to die. So that's why right now I will be shooting myself back up again to scratch this shield HP, so that she can drop the damage here. Okay, back to my MC. Again, MC can do basic or skill, doesn't really matter. But at this point, I would like him to just do basic because he's not a main damage dealer. Right? That's the basic concept. But you also want to, in some situation, you also want to consider the energy that you currently have and how many energy you need to reach your next ultimate. Now, here I have 94 out of 120. That means I'm missing 26 energy from the next ultimate. By doing a basic attack, you are going to get 20 energy back for everyone. And doing your skill, you are going to get 30 energy back. So, if I'm doing my basic here, I will not get enough energy for my next ultimate. I will be missing by 6. And if I do my skill, I will get 30, which will be enough for me to get my ultimate back up. So that's why in this situation I want to do my skill, actually not my basic attack, so that I can ensure I can get my ultimate right now and use it right now, and so I can start charging up as soon as possible and not waste any more energy onto the next basic attack. And you will waste like a lot, like what, 14 energy into overflow. So here I'm going to do basic, do skill, get my ultimate, changing the ultimate here. And because right now we only have one single enemy, I'm just going to do a single target burst for more damage. Okay, and the boss is about to die. So at this point, it doesn't really matter when the boss is about to die. You can just go all in without caring any healing or shielding. Go all in and try to heal as fast as possible. So there is how I usually think about what's going on in my mind when I'm going into a fight with a boss fight. A lot of things to consider instead of just like following a blind blind formula of who to use skill and who to not use skill. How long this is going to drag me to? Oh my god. But yeah, so let me know in the comment section that if you're thinking anything else that I might have missed it. And this guy is for general basic beginner guide, because again in the end game content you will have much more strict requirement for the cycle turn that you need to beat in order to restart the chamber, and this is going to be getting much more harder, and you need more DPS in that case. So in the late game content, your thought is going to be different than your beginning, because now you actually think about how to maximize your damage in your rotation instead of doing a rotation to help you survive long enough and get skill points just to be ready of the next move, the next cycle move. But yeah, this basic guide should be able to help you clear through all the contents that do not have a timer on it. And I think I will start making an individual character guide for each of the 8 free units in detail as of how you should play them, how you should build them, and what are some synergy you can make with the free units you get based on my closed beta test experience I have. And in the closed beta test, I was able to get to Memory of Chaos floor 6, clear floor 6 with 1 star, but I got destroyed in floor 7. I still got to pretty far, and I'm pretty confident that I have quite some knowledge about and what are their strengths, what are their pros and cons, but that's gonna be the next videos, and I know this video is already dragging on for too long. Yeah, thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.